Meme review! The first meme is my life.
Les Miserables one. Ting.
So I've recently come to the conclusion that my kind of official video intro of sorts should be... It's been a while. Because at this rate, basically every single video that I upload it's been a while since the last one. I always intend to do more about that and then don't. I think most of it is kind of just indecision as to what I'm going to make and how I'm going to make it, and not kind of lack of ideas. It's more just like this sort of overwhelming sense of pressure that just prevents me from doing the thing. I apologise, as I probably have done like at least 100 times throughout my YouTube career. Moving on though, I also apologise for the kind of lighting situation in here. It's a little bit not good. I just don't have any decent equipment, nor do I have any real source of light in this room apart from the very limited sunlight, but that's also behind me. Because I don't have like a desk or anything, and I want to do more of like a sit down, let's have a warm beverage and a chat kind of video, and I can't do that like standing in front of a wall. I also haven't put anything on the wall yet, so it's still just blank. I don't know why I'm pointing over here as if you can see, but just take my word for it. I will put things on it and make it a bit more of an interesting background, but then also I have to stand and talk. So I thought we'd have a bit sit chat. So we're on my bed, and this is the best that we can do right now, so apologise, but also hey, content. But anyway, digression, we're moving on to the actual subject. If you're new around here, hello, my name's Aaron. You might want to subscribe. I make videos sometimes, believe it or not, and I'd really just like to take this channel back to more of like its roots, where it was basically just a melting pot of everything that spoke to me, that I was passionate about, that I was creating or interested in, or just wanted to talk about, because I felt like that was not when the channel was at its highest point, but when it was kind of at its truest point. Either way, today I wanted to give you a little bit more of a life update, just of what's going on. Because if you subscribed over on my vlogging channel, I did like the daily vlog thing for a little bit, and I kind of liked that as a way to interact, to communicate things that I was thinking about and feeling on a daily basis, because I often have a lot of thoughts about, just general thoughts really, that I don't tend to share. So it was kind of nice to have that outlet of the sort of daily videos. It just wasn't very practical to continue making them. But I also realised that people who were following along with that, or weren't, whichever, probably haven't heard from me in a little while. They probably don't know what I'm up to. Again, like I was saying before, I kind of feel this sense of pressure anytime I post anything. So that's even, you know, on Facebook, Twitter, things like that, which is why I don't really post on Facebook and Twitter. In this current state of, you know, social media marketing, where everything is branding and where everything that you post is on the internet forever, and, you know, everything speaks to your character and the kind of the brand that you want to build and things like that, I'm almost terrified to post things unless it's like a well thought out piece of content. Like when Twitter was first started, the kind of advertising for it, like the idea behind it was, what are you up to? Like there was a box that said, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking? And that's what Twitter was. It was just bite-sized bits of thoughts, ideas, just, you know, I'm walking the dog, I'm having me breakfast, you know, things like that. But now there's this just sort of pressure, there's this kind of sense of overwhelm, because social media is the outlet to fame these days. It is how people gain attention, and so everything has to be a joke, or everything has to be a relatable piece of content, everything has to be shareable. And, you know, you can't just tweet that you're having your breakfast. I mean, you can, but like no one really cares. To be fair, no one ever really cared, but it feels like a different environment, and it's felt that way for a while, and that's why I don't kind of post anything, because I have this anxiety towards it, this just fear that if I'm not creating a quality piece of content, I shouldn't post anything at all. And it really kind of holds me back in terms of expression creatively, and just generally, like just rambling thoughts like this. I don't tend to do it as often as I used to, or as often as I would like to. I just kind of withhold things. I don't know, let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Like, do you feel that on like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram even? Like, you know, you have to post something that's that's funny or that's a quality piece of content, that you can't just tweet things that are on your mind, or you can't just write a Facebook post about, you know, your day out with your family, because I don't know, it has to be something creative or engaging or that can build your brand, and I don't know, it feels weird to me. But circling back around to the point, you know, I thought I'd give a bit of like a lifey update, just ramble a bit about what's going on in my life, because I don't do that all that often, and sometimes people like to hear it. I don't know why, but sometimes people are interested, and I guess that's just a thing. That's just human connection. People are inherently, I mean, not more interested in other people than in themselves, but people like to know what's going on. They like to, you know, have a bit of a natter and a bit of a conversate, a bit of a discourse about life, and, you know, oh, hey Johnny, how's the kids doing, you know, that sort of vibe. So life, I've been doing a bit more recently. I mean, you may obviously notice that I haven't been posting videos or making music, and that's, again, just that sense of overwhelm, but also it's just a depression. It's just a mental thing. I haven't been doing anything. I've been bedbound, not out of like laziness or anything. I'm just really not well. But I mean, we're getting there. I recently joined a musical theatre society again. First time I've done that in 5 years, I think now. It's been a while since my last show. Last one I did was Phantom of the Opera at Leatherhead Theatre, and that was 2013, I think. So yeah, it'll have been around 5 years since my last show. Musical theatre is something that I've always been into. I did a lot growing up. I did the bulk of my shows as a kid when I was around like 12, give or take. I've always been interested in acting and theatre, but that was when I did the bulk of the actual performing and shows that I did in like proper theatres. And I've been really interested in getting back into that. I just wasn't really sure how, especially with my kind of location being in a state of fluctuation, because I don't necessarily want to be here, but I don't necessarily know where else I want to go, and I don't have money to go anywhere else because, you know, I can't really work because depression. I mean, I try, but then I just end up going like, no, I don't want to do that, and then I quit, and then we're back at square one. It's a very kind of self-defeating cycle, really. I haven't really been able to find anything theatre-wise that I could get myself back into, and like, I've always loved acting. I've always loved performing, and just creativity, creative expression, that sort of thing. And I was kind of browsing around the internet, because most of the theatre groups that I had the opportunity to be part of were like youth groups, so it was like, you know, up until you're 18, and then you can't really be part of it anymore because you're not a young little kiddie. And that was the problem, because those were the only things that I knew, so I can't really rejoin them. I saw that my friend from one of those groups posted a thing on Instagram about another group, so I was like, oh, I can do that, maybe, because he was like doing a promotional advertisement for them. So I checked them out, and it was another one that was like, you know, up until you're 18, so I couldn't really join that either. But through that, I was like, I'm gonna keep looking, I'm gonna keep digging around, and I managed to find like a kind of amateur theatre company, and they're literally within walking distance of my house. So I kind of found them. I called up and I was like, yeah, I'm interested in joining, and they were like, yeah, we're doing our auditions like literally tomorrow for the next show that we're doing. So you mean you're probably a bit late to do that unless you're a miracle worker, but you know, you can join, you can be part of the show, you can get back into things. And I was like, yes, I am ready for this. My body is ready.
My body is ready.
And I was really excited. They had this thing where it was like they dealt with new sign-ups on the Facebook group, because everything's, you know, technologically advanced these days apparently. So I had to message the Facebook group and get in touch with them, and he was like, yeah, the auditions are tomorrow, go for it if you want, dive in at the deep end, but I mean, you know, we don't really expect you to be a miracle worker until like get this all together by tomorrow. And the thing was, having not done anything for such a long time, and not knowing this group, not knowing any of the people, not knowing what to expect, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just like, here, I'll audition for like 3 different parts. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, just send me some scripts, I'll go in and just give it a go. So basically they're doing a production of Fame. I knew like I wasn't gonna do any of like the big parts, because they involved, 1, a lot of dancing, but 2, I didn't know who the other people were, and I was like, maybe there's going to be like really intense competition, and I've been out of the game for so long that 1, it wouldn't be fair for me to steal their parts, but 2, you know, it wouldn't, I wouldn't really stand a chance. So I basically auditioned for one kind of like a principal role but not like the main roles, and two kind of like, you know, still principal but again like subordinate roles of like teachers. I kind of did assume that the teachers would be played by older people, like people that are actually older than me. But again, I didn't really know the group at all, so I thought, you know, it's worth trying, just if anything to show versatility, because one of them I did in like a very dramatic American voice, and another has to have like a German accent, so it's quite like an aggressive German man. And then the kind of principal one I just did like, it was more of like a naturalistic kind of role. And I think that's the really interesting thing, because when I was younger, when I was doing a lot of shows, I was always very typecast as the kind of really over-the-top dramatic, outgoing, like the characters that are very funny, evil villains, mad professors. Like I was always that sort of like, oh, like pantomime dramatic type of character. And it was only when I went to school and studied drama at like GCSE and then AS level, I dropped out towards the end, that's a whole other thing, but it was only then that I was able to kind of break that mold and experiment with more like serious roles and like actually acting, you know, like being an actor and not just like a performer, like a I'm a big dramatic character. And it was really interesting to kind of like really explore being more serious with it and like practicing like the craft, as it were. And so this really has been my first opportunity to dive back into things, and so I wanted to see if I could get a genuine role, like a role where I was like just a real character, not necessarily someone that was like, and not that characters aren't real, but you know, like if I could be just more of like the serious character, because I thought it would just be like a nice entryway back into things. And I actually got it. I got that one character. Indeed, my doing 3 different bits did show versatility, and they were quite impressed, one by the fact that I'd done it all in a night, but also just by my kind of overall ability. They were quite impressed, and it was a bit of an ego boost, really. But yeah, so I accepted the part, and it was a scary thing because like if you're in a show, like it's a commitment. You know, I was saying before about my mental health kind of making things a bit for me, because I'm always like trying things, I'm having like bursts of motivation and then like retreating, you know, I'm taking jobs and then realizing that it really wasn't a good idea and then quitting said job. But when you're in like a show, you have a commitment to the other people, you know, you have a commitment to show up, to be there, to be part of it, and to do the best that you can, to kind of make sure that everyone else is doing the best that they can, to kind of make sure that everything works as like a well-oiled machine. And so the fact that I kind of committed to that, like, yes, I'm going to be in this show, I'm going to be here for the next X amount of months until the show happens, I'm going to be at the rehearsals, and not only that, I'm going to play a main part, not like a main part, but like a main part still. So that was quite a scary thing, but I'm glad I did it. Like, I feel like it's been good for me, like even though I've been very inactive and it's only like 1 day a week, I feel like it was good for me to go out and do something like that, and even though it's not a massive step, it's helpful. I feel like that's probably what I need. I need to be taking steps like that, where it's like I'm doing something 1 day a week, or I'm doing something a couple days a week, rather than like I'm gonna have this massive burst of motivation, I'm gonna go all in and I'm gonna do everything all at once and then burn out and then stop within a few days, because that's what I always do, right? I overcommit. It's because I know that I can do more, right? Like inside I have this burning desire to be very prolific, right? I know I can do more, I know I can make more, I know I can be more, I know I have potential, I just don't use it, and it gets to me. And that's why when I have these bursts of motivation, I overextend myself, I overcommit. I say I'm going to daily vlog, or I'm going to daily this, or I'm going to make all this stuff, or do all this stuff, or, you know, I'm going to really try at something, and it's just too much. It's going from nothing to everything all at once, and then I crash and burn. And I feel like something like this, where yes, it's a commitment and it's scary, but it's only once, twice, 3 times a week, is a lot better. Like it's like a baby steps, because when I'm there I'm like, I want to do more, I want to go harder at it, but then, you know, when I come back I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, it's nice to have this little recuperation before I go again next week. But yeah, rambling aside, the point of that was I'm going to be in a show again. I'm in a production of Fame, the Royalty Theatre in Sunderland in May, end of May, start of June. It's like over a few days, and I will be playing the role of Shlomo Metzenbaum, who is quite a shy, introverted character, which I think fits quite well. He's the son of a famous concert violinist, so he has this kind of, you know, great weight, like this pressure, these expectations resting on him that he needs to be successful, that he needs to be talented, because, you know, he's following in his father's footsteps. He's in this kind of shadow. He wants to find his own voice and develop his own character. He tries, you know, starting bands and different things, you know, just to kind of find his own footing in the world. And I think it's not like, you know, one of the biggest characters in the show, but I think it's a nice one. Like, it's going to be a way to ease myself back into doing things like this, and as I said, it's going to be one of my first real shots of playing a more serious role. In fact, I actually have a poster. Here it is. I don't know if that's in focus or how well you can see that, but there we go. Fame the Musical. If you want to come and see it, if you fancy a trek up north or from wherever you are in the country or the world, if you fancy trekking over, you might as well come see it. Hit me up in Twitter or in the comments, or, well, I mean, you can't really buy tickets in the comments, but I mean, you can come see it if you want. That's the thing. The other thing that I'm doing that I'm not going to talk about too much detail today, because I've already been rambling for like 20 minutes. I recently started a music course. Again, I feel like I should talk about that more in another video. I feel like that'll give us more content, more to talk about another time. But yeah, it's going well, and I'll make another video about that soon. So if you have any thoughts or any kind of response to anything, feel free to let me know down in the comments, you know, what you think about the kind of the anxiety or the pressure of social media, and also if you want to come and see me in Fame, any shows or things that you're doing, anything you're up to. In fact, just what are you up to? How's your life going, you know? Let me know in the comments. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about, like the hokey cokey. You know, you put your left arm in, that's my right arm. Your left arm in, your right arm. But it's the give and take. It's you know, I'm sharing with you. You feel free to share in the comments. Let's talk. Let's make this a little community like YouTube used to be, where we all just talk and we're all just friends, and it's a happy place. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my little ramble, my little kind of comeback. I say comeback, I just keep coming and going, really, don't I? I think if we measure, pace ourselves a bit more, don't try to go all out, because it rarely works. Just build things up step by step. That's how you make progress, isn't it? Step by step you get ahead, not necessarily in fast spurts. Just build things, right? I make a video here, a video there. I work on my songs. Would anybody be interested in live streams? I don't know what I do or anything, but if you are interested, let me know. Comments, subscribe if you are new. I promise I'm going to try and do more. I say that all the time, but I genuinely mean it, especially if I'm just rambling like this and it's not a very intensive video. Subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. Why not? Let's start sharing with friends. Let's start building this community here, and just talking, just having some discourse, sharing art and passion and craft and music. Let's just have a jolly good time of it. Writing, whatever it is you love to do, make sure you do it. You know, I'm not going to be all like, work hard at it every single day or you're never going to succeed. Like, I mean, make sure you remember why you're doing it. And it's what this is, it's what this video is about, and it's what the direction I'm hoping to go back in on this channel, to like go back on ourselves. Just remember why we're doing it. Yeah, subscribe. I'll see you soon. Maybe, hopefully. Yeah, I'll see you soon, and I'll tell you about the music course. How about that? I'll see you around.